Welcome to Creepy Joe's Horror Show! With special guest, Slip Rick the Skeleton.
It's not my fault the babes like me, man.
Also, Flo!
Perverts.
And don't forget about your legendary loser host himself, Creepy Joe!
Welcome to Creepy Joe's Horror Show. Tonight we have The Horror Show from 1989.
An executed killer haunts the house where a policeman lives with his wife and children.
Alright, The Horror Show, directed by James Isaac and David Blythe. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but who knows. And then we have starring Lance Henriksen, who plays Lucas, the main character, and he's also, from the top of my head without research, I remember him being in a couple movies, but most importantly, he was in Pumpkinhead, and I can't even think of the rest, but anyway, but Brian James, who plays the slasher serial killer Max Jank, and his character's awesome, but we'll get more into him later. We have Rita Haggart playing Donna, who's, Lucas's wife. And then we have Aaron Eisenberg, who plays Scott, the son. And then Dee Dee Pfeiffer, who plays who plays Bonnie, the daughter. And there's other characters, of course, but those are the main ones. And this movie, it sticks out to me mostly because of Max Jank, played by Brian James, because he's just a really sick weirdo, and this isn't a horror comedy, but it almost could be because of Max. He's just really over the top, and it's almost comedic. It's not even, it is creepy, but at the same time it's more, to me it's funnier because just the way he acts.
Put the gun down, right? Got the little bitch.
And he's just a complete sicko weirdo. But anyway, it starts out there, the movie starts with Lucas busting Max. They arrest him because he's a serial killer, and he's sadistically murdered all these people and whatever. I forget actually who all he killed or how many people he killed. I don't even think they specify, but he's a sicko, because I think he kills a kid at the beginning. They arrest him, and Lucas can't seem to get his head straight. Like, he's so disturbed by this killer that he is like hallucinating, he's daydreaming, like he can't even eat a plate of food, like,
But your family's dead.
He's really disturbed by it, and he's seeing a psychiatrist, like a police psychiatrist, to get back on the job, and they won't clear him until he's feeling better, obviously. And he wants to get back on the job, so he's lying and saying, I'm feeling better, but the psychiatrist knows he's not.
You feel better though?
Yeah.
So he feels like, well, maybe I'll feel better after Max Jank is executed. So he goes to see the execution, and that's kind of the best part of the movie to me, because they try to electrocute him, and he just doesn't die. He just keeps coming back, and then
I'm gonna tear your world apart.
up until, he's completely fried and his skin is boiled, and he's still coming at, Lucas, saying I'll get you, or whatever, and So that was even more disturbing probably than what Lucas was going through before he was put to death. So he goes back onto the job, and Lucas's daughter has a boyfriend who's, sneaking around to see her, and he's hiding in the basement.
Damn it, Vinny, you scared me!
And they're going away, the Lucas and his wife, Donna, are going away, and they're leaving the kids. So she has this boyfriend there sneaking around, and here, and I don't fully understand this, so don't get mad at me, but somehow Max Jank is still alive, and there's this other like scientific detective. I don't even know what he is, but he's like a weird paranormal style, and he understands that through the electricity, Max Jank's spirit is coming back. Like it haunts the house that Lucas lives in or whatever.
Mr. McCarthy, I need to talk to you.
Oh, yeah?
He's coming back.
You at the execution.
And the furnace keeps acting up. Like there's all these weird occurrences, and then it gets to the point where he comes back and starts killing people from whatever. I don't even know how he's appearing, but he's killing people somehow through electricity. And he murders the boyfriend, and then they find the kids, Scott and Bonnie, hear their dad flipping out on someone in the basement, and they think it's the boyfriend. Like they think he got caught.
Stay away from my daughter, you piece of shit!
Sneaking around down there, but really it was the dad freaking out on his own imagination, yelling at Max because he keeps seeing things, and he thinks it's his imagination, and it's all psycho whatever, but it's really not. He is coming back, and this weird detective keeps trying to let him know, like, he is coming back. You're not crazy, this is actually happening. But he's coming back somehow and murdering people, and then the police arrest Lucas because they think that he did it. Like they think that he's the one who murdered the boy for sneaking around to see his daughter.
Your daughter found Vinnie Caparelli's body in your basement.
And really it wasn't, but obviously they're not going to believe that someone came out of the furnace and electricity. So they're holding him. He ends up, busting his way out of there and punching his superior officer in the face and getting out of there.
You are either with me or you're against me.
Now just a second!
And ultimately, Max keeps coming back. In a nutshell, he keeps coming back and murdering more people, and he ends up, everybody ends up surviving, and they end up, taking care of it.
Back the fuck off, bitch!
It's a ride. Like the whole movie is a ride, because you're frustrated because you're like, you know that he's a good guy. Lucas is a good guy, and this sicko, this Max, he wants to come back and like touch his daughter and all this weird shit. He's making these sick comments.
I got a present for you.
And so you're really rooting for Lucas to finally take care of this and murder Max, or whatever. But like you get a feeling that he like can't die, because obviously, A, the electric chair scene, he wouldn't die, and then B, after he did finally die, he's still coming back and killing people. It's like, how do you stop a guy that can do that? So they figure out it's through like electricity and whatever, man. But it's a great movie. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite one on Tubi, but it's also not, my least favorite. I would totally watch it again. If I would watch a movie a second time, then that says a lot, because some of these are so trash that I would never waste my time watching for a second time, if that makes sense, because why would I? When there's a million other movies out there that are waiting to be seen that are awesome. Like this one. This one's awesome. So that's pretty much it for that. I'll rate this a solid 3 out of 5. Only because it's close to a 4 out of 5. It's pretty good. But it doesn't, some of the stuff like was weird and didn't make a lot of sense. And the whole basis of him coming back through electricity and all this shit, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't really like that idea. It would have been better if he just was a ghost or something. I don't know. I guess he kind of is. Whatever. The 3 out of 5, and that's pretty much it. I'd have to say the most notable scene that stood out to me was obviously the electric chair scene, and we'll show that again. But any one of these movies, for those of you that aren't in tune every night, which I don't expect you to be, trust me, because I'm barely in tune. I'm barely making it through this. This is hard to do every single day for the month of October, but I'm doing it. I'm sticking to it. I believe this is like 15 or 16. I can't even remember what night we're on, but everything is free on Tubi. Everything that you're seeing on this whole month series of October, on Octubi Fest, everything is on Tubi for free as long as you have internet connection. You can download Tubi app and watch all of these movies. And they're all awesome. I have to keep saying that because so far anyway, if one does suck, I'll be honest, I'm not going to hold back if it's a really shitty film. But so far, so good. Every single one of these, I'm really surprised how awesome they are. And I really enjoyed every single movie so far. And this is no exception. So download the Tubi app and check these out. And if you're living under a rock and never heard of Tubi, which a lot of people haven't, I get it. So, that's why I'm so hell-bent on getting you to watch it if you're a horror fan, because it's endless amounts of movies, horror movies, any kind of movies that you want. But the horror, category is amazing. They have horror comedy, horror action, horror thriller. I mean, they have every genre of horror, and they all kind of end up mixing into each other's, list. But there's a wide variety of awesome horror movies from all years. So there's even old monster flicks, which I should probably do one before the end of the month. I've been really sticking with the 80s because I just love 80s horror, and there's so many of them, especially in the late 80s, between 86 and 89. I mean, there's just hundreds and hundreds of awesome horror movies. But thanks for hanging out, and, stay tuned for tomorrow night because there's going to be another one, and we'll see you then. So stay creepy.
Lucas, electricity from the plant.